The United Nations envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, says he's appalled and shocked by the high number of attacks on civilian areas in regime-held Aleppo. Rebel fighters are holding areas of western Aleppo. They were recaptured as part of an offensive to break the siege of the eastern part of the city. Rebels have also strongly denied regime accusations that they've used chlorine gas. Hospitals have reported cases of suffocation among civilians, but haven't cited a cause. Well, Ali Mustafa joins us now from Gaziantep, near the Turkey-Syria border. He's got the latest. Ali, de Mistura then is calling for a de-escalation, but is there any indication that that is likely to happen?
Well, he's certainly trying, Paul. And despite the worsening situation on the ground, he's come up with a three-point plan specifically for eastern Aleppo. Firstly, he wants to get people that are desperate and willing to get out. Secondly, he wants to get the sick and injured out. And thirdly, he wants to get humanitarian supplies into eastern Aleppo. Now, despite all these efforts, he doesn't seem optimistic because, as our viewers know, rebels have launched an offensive on regime-held parts, and the situation there's quite fluid. We'll talk about that in a bit. While Mistura is focusing on specifics on eastern Aleppo, an overall push seems to be emerging in the UN. Jan Egeland has come out and said that there's a plan in place for November, the Russians are on board, and the regime has given the UN access to 23 of the 25 areas that the UN wants to get in that are in dire need of humanitarian supplies. This includes 17 besieged areas. The regime has been sieging various parts of rebel-held parts of Syria for some time now. But despite all the assurances to get humanitarian supplies in, only 70% or 700,000 people of the 1 million people that actually need aid will receive aid if this plan goes through in November. So various maneuvers being carried out at the UN to get aid in, to bring some relief to not only Aleppo, but Syria at large, Paul.
Of course, the fighting's continuing alongside the diplomacy. What's the dynamic like in Aleppo at the moment? How is the rebels' attempt to break that siege? How's it going?
Well, it's quite an unprecedented push by the rebels. The second time they've tried to break the siege of eastern Aleppo, and they've captured some parts of western Aleppo. Now, both sides, the regime and the rebels, are accusing each other of using chlorine gas and poison gas on areas that are under each other's control, but there's no way to verify this. And in all of this, the civilians are suffering. So the UN is concerned that the situation can worsen further than it already has in both western and eastern Aleppo, Paul.
Okay, Ali, thank you.